Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We gotta talk about Battlefield 6 Season 1, because there are some great things, and there are some things that are just flat out completely unacceptable. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the update, the patch notes, the complete meltdown of the Battlefield community, which is becoming, well, commonplace, or has been commonplace for quite a long time, the new map, strike points, and other things to do with Season 1, so let's get right into it. If you enjoy the channel and want to follow Battlefield 6, hit that sub button. We are so close to 100,000 subs. You guys barreled closer to 100,000 subs quite a bit faster than I anticipated, so I just hope the 100,000 sub special is ready in time, but if it isn't, I guess that's my fault, but at the same time, you guys are showing unbelievable support, and I thank you guys so much. Now, the first thing that needs to be addressed immediately, and the thing that's in the thumbnail, is what I like to call the Battlefield 6 Season 1 update rug pull. Now, it isn't a rug pull in the pure sense of it, right? We're still getting the update eventually and all of the contents of the update. It's just, there was some really shitty communication, and I want to just detail that right now. So prior to Season 1 coming out, obviously they released the patch notes and the community update detailing all of the changes and bug fixes and things they're going to be doing within this patch, and people were really excited because the update sounded great. You know, I made a full video on it, I broke everything down, and I said, damn, you know, this update looks really impressive, really looking forward to the release of Season 1, these changes are going to be great. Fast forward to the morning of Season 1, I jump in the game to test some of the ADS sway changes, which were listed in the patch notes, and to test if the spread bugs were fixed, which were listed in the patch notes. And I started to test things in the test range and play the game, and I said to my chat, my live stream during the time, I said, guys, the game's the exact fucking same. Like, I swear I'm not coping. It is identical. The ADS sway is the same. The spread bug is still in the game. I was testing it. Like, you still have insane spread after sprinting. And sure enough, I go on Twitter and I say the game feels the same. And Drunksy replies to somebody on this tweet and confirms exactly what I was feeling. He says the bug fixes are not in this update, might not have been clear from some of the previous communication, but they are coming into a later update during Season 1. Well, if that's the case, why is the official Battlefield Communications Twitter tweeting a link to the patch notes with the text, "Update is now live on all platforms"? I can guarantee you, each and every single one of us thought we were going to get these updates listed in the patch notes the day of the update. And I scoured these patch notes for any mention of these changes coming in a later update. I Control F'd the entire document. It mentions it nowhere, okay? So this is basically a bait and switch. I don't know what they thought they were doing with this. In fact, I can't even recall another time where this happened, where they detail a ton of changes, release an update, none of the changes happen, and then tell us after the fact they're coming later. And yes, I understand we are still going to be getting these changes, right? They're not completely gone. But at the same time, this sort of critical communication mistake is absolutely unacceptable, and it should never happen again. With that being said, I still look forward to experiencing these changes. It's just not going to happen as quickly as we all thought. So, onto the map, Blackwell Fields. Gotta be honest, I don't like it. I don't like it really much at all. I played it on Breakthrough. The Breakthrough experience is significantly worse than the Conquest experience, but the Conquest experience isn't all that much better. The Breakthrough layout just feels like it's about 2 meters wide. It just feels like there's 64 people crammed in a hallway. I just don't like it at all. The Conquest experience, the map feels very flat. Sniping was actually the most effective thing on this map because of just the crazy sightlines you could get from all of the points. Whenever I was playing, I never felt truly in control of all of the sightlines, and that's because it's incredibly difficult to actually be aware of where you're exposing yourself to, how to rotate, and of course the visibility is quite bad because the map is fucking orange. Now, with all that being said, I don't think it's the absolute worst Battlefield map I've ever played. I've seen multiple people say that it is actually the worst map ever released in franchise history. I think that's doom posting, I think that's disingenuous, and I think that's short-term memory loss, which the Battlefield community has a lot of. I think somehow a lot of people have already forgotten the catastrophe that is Battlefield 2042, or the game that shall not be named or discussed, and the maps or the abominations that were featured in that game. I think it's safe to say, or I hope it's safe to say, that the next map we're going to be getting in Season 1 is going to be significantly better than Blackwell Fields. I don't even think they can really save the map. How would they? I'm not down for the whole 2042 map rework shit. So I think it's just over for Blackwell. Maybe they can change some of the out-of-bounds lines or some of the terrain. I don't know. Now, in terms of Strike Point and Gauntlet and the Battle Royale and the community's reaction to all of this stuff, including the maps, I'll just start off with Strike Point. That's the 4v4 single elimination mode, kind of like Call of Duty Search and Destroy, but not exactly. I think that's a super fun mode. For Gauntlet, I'm going to have a fully dedicated video on that, so just keep an eye out in the future. And then, of course, we get to the Battle Royale, the community's reaction, and the whole fallout of it. So I made a full video yesterday regarding my extended thoughts of the Battle Royale, my experience so far. I played it again today with the boys for about 7 more hours. Guess what? It was 7 more hours of fun. So I don't really know what the big fuss is about. People on Reddit and other social media platforms are acting like this is the absolute end of the world, but in reality, it's just a fine, okay BR. You know, it didn't do anything groundbreaking, didn't do anything really innovative, but at the end of the day, EA is going to do what they want to do, and they wanted a free-to-play Battle Royale to basically make more money to attract more players to the game. That's what it is. And the main concern I've seen surrounding this, or one of the biggest ones, is, oh, because we have a Battle Royale attached to Battlefield now, that means the BR is going to be in their main focus, and the multiplayer is going to suffer as a result. And I can understand where people are coming from, but at the same time, why would you not want the Battle Royale to be successful? You know, like, I've just never understood rooting for something to fail. This is one of the biggest aspects of the entire game. The Battlefield community literally expects EA to sit on their hands and not adapt the Battlefield franchise to compete with other games like Call of Duty in their same space that are offering way more variety in their game. Call of Duty has ranked modes. Call of Duty has multiplayer. Call of Duty has zombies. Call of Duty has Battle Royale. And what does Battlefield have? None of these things, and that is supposed to be okay. Also, I don't really know why, but the Battlefield community has this attitude where only their opinion matters and no outside interest or no outside opinion actually matters at all. Like, I don't know what it's going to take for the Battlefield community to figure out that there can be things that aren't designed solely to cater to the core Battlefield community. Like, it is okay to want to attract new players to the franchise. And of course, EA knows this. They wouldn't go ahead and greenlight the production of a massive undertaking of a Battle Royale if it didn't make sense to them from, like, a monetary perspective. They clearly have data on this stuff. They clearly understand that Battle Royale, contrary to what a lot of people say, is still a super popular game mode. Apex Legends, PUBG, Fortnite, I mean, Battle Royale is still one of the largest FPS modes out there. So to see the Battlefield community sit there and bitch and moan and sob on Reddit and on social media that they didn't get their way, that Battlefield didn't listen to the core and completely scrap this whole Battle Royale just because they wanted them to, is fucking pathetic. Especially considering the Battle Royale is something they didn't pay for. Need I remind everybody, it is free to play. So they're sitting there complaining that they didn't get their way on something they don't even have to play and didn't pay for. Absolutely classic. So when it comes to Season 1, I honestly think we're off to a less than ideal start. The map is not great, and some of the changes that we all expected are not in the game right now. The Battle Royale I'm having a ton of fun with. I think it's a good addition to the game. I think it's actually an essential addition to the Battlefield franchise. It adapts the franchise to modern expectations. It allows them to compete against the other games in their same space, so of course they were going to do it. Overall, we'll just have to see how Season 1 progresses. I do think some of the game modes are great. I do like the new weapon. So if I had to rate Season 1 out of 10 right now, I would probably give it like a 6.875. And if the next new map, Eastwood, is good, and if the changes that were detailed in the Season 1 patch note finally drop, and they're just as good as I think they'll be, probably jumps up all the way to about a solid 8.5-ish. So that's about it for this video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for watching. If you want to follow Battlefield 6, I have a bunch of videos coming out very soon. Be sure to hit that sub button, hit the like button, swing by the streams. I stream every single day at twitch.tv/enders. Leave a comment on all this crazy stuff happening, and I will see you guys in the next video.